the ecosystem of AI in Europe would develop with a human-centric approach, respecting fundamental rights and the European values.
This is really something that is much more, I believe, than a rule book. It's a launchpad for the European startups and also researchers to lead the global race for what our fellow citizens want, a trustworthy AI.
For more on this, let's bring in our correspondent in Brussels, Bernd Riegert. Hello, Bernd. Why did the EU decide that this law was needed?
Well, the EU felt it is about high time to regulate, and the EU wants to be the first in the world, the first big regional business area to regulate artificial intelligence. Neither the US nor Asian markets have this regulation, and in this way the EU wants to set the world standards for the whole industry, and the EU also felt that it is a high time to do this now because there are some dangers deriving from artificial intelligence, and the EU sees itself as at the forefront of a revolution actually in business, because AI will have impact on every field of daily life in the future.
The future is quite tricky when you think about AI, isn't it? Walk us through some of the measures that will be put in place and what they will mean for people and companies in the EU.
The EU will divide AI applications into 4 risk classes. Some of them will be completely forbidden, like facial recognition on a mass scale. There are some exemptions for military and law enforcement, and also behavioral control and the control of your thoughts. That will be also banned. But high-risk applications, for example, in self-driving cars, will be allowed in the EU, but they have to be certified. The technique has to be open so that everybody can see how that works. And normal AI, I would call it like ChatGPT on a medium risk level, that can be in the EU without any restrictions, but it has to be documented how this thing works, and everybody has to know that he is dealing with AI, that he's not talking to a human. This is one of the essential measures in the whole legislations. You as a consumer shall always decide, do I want to talk to a machine? I have to know that it's not human. This is the basic principle, but there are also some AI applications that will be not regulated. For example, audio and video altering programs that make these well-known deep fakes. These are not regulated. They don't pose a high risk in the view of the EU.
Okay. What has the reaction been so far? I assume quite mixed, right?
Well, there are positive and negative reactions on both sides of the aisle, if you will. The business lobby is saying this is far too much. It's too far because it's over-regulation. It will hamper competition. It will prevent startups from coming up with new solutions. Some companies might even leave Europe to go to the United States or Asia to develop their applications there. On the other hand, consumer protection groups say this is not far enough because the data are not protected very well, and there are some AI applications, for example, in toys that are not regulated, that could attack the thoughts and the behavior of our kids. So both sides are not really